the Lacolle border crossing, which has been sort of the main location where migrants have been crossing from America into Canada, mostly Haitian migrants who fear deportation under the Trump administration. As of August 31st, there have been at least 13,000 migrants who have crossed. However, that number has been going down. But the folks here believe that the migrant and refugee issue is one that will be ongoing, so they're not expecting this issue to die down anytime soon. This event has been relatively anticipated for the past little while because not too long ago there was a clash between another far-right group called La Meute and the same group, Solidarity Across Borders, in Quebec City that did see violence, did see people being injured. So there's a lot of press here, a lot of police presence. You could see that police cars have sort of surrounded the perimeter of the area. You could see a pretty large group of riot police sort of hiding away in the corner waiting if anything were to happen. And so far we have at least, I would say at least 200 Solidarity Across Borders protesters here. And so far they're just hanging out, they're handing out food, they're playing music, they're setting up their banners, and they're just essentially hanging out here waiting until the Storm Alliance shows up, which is supposed to happen relatively soon, and they're going to be there to confront them. So let's see what happens. I've spoken to some people, they're not anticipating that it's going to be as crazy as Quebec City. However, you never know with events like this. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see you then.
We have banners, we have posters. Just take over the area. And again, just remember where the border crossing is. But it seems like we're allowed to take the spot. But just because we're here right now doesn't mean we shouldn't be taking the whole area. Just wanted to mention that. The Storm Alliance isn't supposed to show up before noon.
So we're here today at the Lacolle border crossing to disrupt the activities of Storm Alliance, who have planned a National Day of Action. And we're here with a message that we welcome refugees and migrants, that we want the borders to be open, and that we oppose racism. And so I'm here as part of a group called Solidarity Across Borders. And in particular, our work is aimed at building a solidarity city where people, regardless of their migratory status, and people from marginalized communities can feel welcome and safe. In terms of refugees and migrants, we welcome these members of our community as well as our neighboring other neighbors from other countries.
Can you explain this concept of the Solidarity City just a little bit in more depth? Because I've heard the name a lot and I'm just curious about what it is.
Yes. So from our perspective, a Solidarity City is a place where people who do not have status do not fear deportation or detention. So while Montreal has been declared a sanctuary city, in actuality people continue to be deported and placed in detention on a daily basis. And so that's one of the major parts of building a solidarity city, is actually that people feel safe in a solidarity city, and it doesn't only rely on the municipality to make a decision, but it's up to each of us to ensure that people in our communities feel safe and welcome.
And what are your expectations for today's potential confrontation with Storm Alliance? What do you think is gonna happen in a couple of hours?
On our end, we have a series of speeches, we have music, and we have family-friendly activities. So for us, it's going to be a very festive day. I'm not sure what Storm Alliance has planned, but on our end, that's what we are here to deliver.
J'ai mes droits. On veut pas tout ça. T'es pas dans tes... Non. J'ai mes droits. Autant que les autres, sauf que moi, je peux pas faire. Anti-raciste,
Anti-fascista, anti-fascista,
alerta, 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 anti-fascista, alerta, alerta, anti-fascista, alerta, alerta, anti-fascista. What were you trying to do when you went in there?
I was looking forward to where I was waiting for another group coming in. They're not the same position as Trudeau and Couillard and all the others. We like to say to the folks, we're not, how did you say that? We want some immigrants around here, no problem. At least they'll be acting like us, you know? If I move to another country, I'll be following their law, and I'm not gonna try to impose my own law over there. So that is the big thing. If they wanna move over here, so act like a Canadian. Don't try to change our law.
What kind of laws?
What kind of law? Like, they're gonna try to, in the future, in the near future, you're gonna see like the Sharia coming pretty soon. And people, they don't see that. Women, they've been fighting in Quebec and in Canada to fight for the liberty of women. In the near future, in less than 20 years, there's going to be further back than today.
Est-ce que quelqu'un a déposé un projet de loi pour la charia?
Non, mais ça s'en vient, ça s'en vient. Ils travaillent tranquillement, par en dessous, ça s'en vient. Avec Couillard puis Trudeau, on va l'avoir. Ça s'en vient.
But the immigrants coming through are mostly Asian, they're mostly Christians, right?
Not mostly Christian.
Haitians.
Asians.
Asian. What else?
Haiti.
From
Haiti.
Oh, there's some different. Like I say, I don't care where they came from. At least they act like us.
But they're not Muslim.
I don't care if they're Muslim or not. The thing is, people are coming around here and they want to impose everything. I'm not talking about Muslim or whatever. No matter, people are coming in, act like Canadians. That's all. That's all we ask.
So have you actually had like a negative experience with the things you're talking about that, you know, makes you protest for what you're protesting for? Like how do you
No,
know
the
these
thing
things?
is, I'm just protecting about Trudeau and Couillard, the way they're acting. And this is not only for immigrants, it's see what they're acting for the petrol. They give the permission to drill on lake and everything. And this is not what we want.
Pourquoi vous ne manifestez pas à Ottawa ou à Québec, à l'Assemblée nationale?
Parce que je suis plus proche, là. C'est simple.
Puis où est-ce qu'ils sont, les autres manifestants?
Je sais pas, ils sont supposés arriver un jour.
Vous êtes arrivé tout seul?
Oui. Puis j'ai pas le visage caché, j'ai pas peur de me montrer. Pas comme ceux-là.
En dehors du reste, s'il vous plaît. On a fait un bon signe de paix, ça, tout le monde? Venez là, votre photo. On est pacifique, on n'est pas désengagés. Exactement. Fucking nazi. Fucking nazi. C'est pas raciste, ça, comme commentaire, un peu? Personne n'est raciste. Fasciste. C'est pas de raciste, c'est pas de raciste. Bonne place pour nazi,
Nazis go! Go home! Nazis go! Go home! Nazis go! Go home! Nazis go! Go home! C'est ça votre gang! Go home! C'est ça votre gang! 1, 2, 3, 4! Hey, je peux compter ça sur mes deux doigts de la main! 5, 6, 7, 8!
We're the ones who got the border and the refugee camp covered, so that's what
Stop loitering in the parking lot!
Lavez plus tôt! Restez tranquille, tout le monde!
à l'immigration présentement. Puis je vais le spécifier tout de suite avant que je sois mal coté. Le problème qu'on a avec l'immigration, c'est pas les immigrants, c'est la façon que les libéraux invitent tout le monde à venir ici, mais ne déploient pas les ressources pour les aider à s'intégrer après. Ils leur donnent un chèque, un logement à prix modique, puis arrangez-vous après. Nous, on veut qu'ils les aident à s'intégrer le marché du travail avec des bons emplois, qu'ils deviennent fiers d'être Canadiens. Là, c'est le contraire qui arrive. Les gens s'épuisent, la frustration s'installe, autant du côté des cultures, des communautés, autant que de l'autre côté.
So if you want to just describe exactly what the goal is of this protest, please.
Okay. Parles-tu français?
Oui.
Okay, parce qu'on avait dit aujourd'hui qu'on les faisait en français parce qu'on a beaucoup d'indépendantistes. Fait que ça te dérange pas que je te réponds en français?
Non, c'est bon.
Parfait. Répète-moi ta question, excuse-moi.
Alors, qu'est-ce que c'est le but de cette manifestation ici? Qu'est-ce que
Aujourd'hui, c'est envoyer un signal aux libéraux et Justin Trudeau, encore une fois, que le peuple canadien désapprouve de ses politiques économiques, sociales et aussi l'immigration, bien sûr. Les gens sont concernés avec ça.
Et qu'est-ce que tu veux sur les issues de l'immigration? Like, what is your goal for that? Est-ce que tu veux rien de réfugiés ou quoi?
Ah, ça n'a rien à voir avec ça. On n'a rien contre les individus. Nous, ce qu'on veut, c'est que les libéraux mettent les ressources en place pour aider les immigrants à s'intégrer. Présentement, ce qu'ils font, c'est que Justin a invité la planète au complet ici. Il leur donne un chèque, un logement à prix modique, qu'arrangez-vous après. C'est pas ça qu'on veut. On veut que ces gens-là intègrent le marché du travail, des bonnes jobs, qu'ils deviennent prospères. C'est ce qu'on veut. On n'est absolument pas contre l'immigration. C'est eux autres qui disent ça parce que ça fit leur narrative. Mais il n'y a rien de vrai là-dedans. Il n'y a jamais personne qui va avoir le prouver sur nos pages personnelles ou du groupe. Jamais qu'on parle contre l'immigration.
Est-ce que tu peux expliquer un peu le carré ici?
Oui, le carré ici, c'est une initiative des Premières Nations. C'est pour supporter la violence faite aux femmes et enfants. C'est juste les hommes qui portent ça. Et c'est le Moosehide, pas challenge, mais initiative, je pense. Puis on les a appelés, on leur a expliqué qui qu'on était, ils savent qui qu'on était, puis ils ont dit on vous endosse. On les endosse aussi.
Il dit que tu es des racistes. Est-ce que tu peux répondre à ça?
Non, je vais te dire, va leur demander pourquoi. Va me chercher du factuel, puis je vais me défendre après. Là, tu veux que je défende spéculation, des allégations qui sont non fondées.
C'est pas sur caméra, mais je voulais savoir, est-ce que tu as essayé de parler à eux autres? Parce que moi, je les ai demandé s'ils vous ont parlé, puis ils m'ont dit que vous voulez pas leur parler.
Mensonge. Le 1er juillet, on était à Roxham Road. On est arrivé là, il y était 30 manifestants. La minute que j'ai mis le pied là, Jackie Singh a commencé « Fucking racist, Dave! Everybody hate you, Dave! » Jamais qu'il a voulu me parler. En cours de manif, 9 de ses membres ont quitté, que je suis allé voir tout seul, face à face. J'ai parlé avec eux autres, qui ont réalisé qu'ils ne savaient même pas ce qu'ils faisaient là, qu'est-ce qu'on était. C'est full des informations. Tout le temps. Si les gens prendraient le temps de s'asseoir avec nous, ce qu'on offre à tout le monde, on le ferait. Ils veulent pas. Ils veulent pas parce qu'ils vont se faire démolir leur agenda.
C'est ça. Donc, en ayant fait mon vidéo sur Facebook, j'avais fait ça juste un cri du cœur. On a accueilli ici justement la mère de mon plus jeune est rwandaise. Elle fait partie des immigrés qui sont venus ici, des réfugiés par rapport au génocide au Rwanda. Ouais. C'est correct, c'est normal.
Parce qu'ils sont dans une crise ou un...
Yeah, right. It's okay. Never had problem with them. Like the Yugoslav and all those, they came here. So it was the same thing. No one never says something against them. So it's just like...
It's the system.
Yeah, and we want it like fair for everyone. Everyone has its right, and we want a peaceful Canada, a peaceful country, and it's just some citizens. I think it's normal that they're scared that some stuff's going to change and everything. We just want to keep it cool. I remember sometime when he goes in another country, everyone's like, "Oh, you're from Quebec, you're cool. Come here, take a beer." You know, I don't want that to change.
Do you think some people in your group might give your group a bad name? Do you think that might be
I didn't see no one right now, but I know that some people their job are to check those people because it's a free and a peaceful stand. It's a peaceful stand that we are doing right now. I'm not here to do some violence or some stuff. We just want to say, "Hey, we are here, and that's what we ask for. That's what. It's just citizens. It's dad, it's mom. It's not like some kid who's going to throw cocktail Molotov, you know. It's like I said, I'm a like I said, I have 2 kids, raising them alone, and I'm not going to go in a fight and a riot or something. We're here to just say to the government, say to the people, look, we are here, we are in peace, we have some idea, and we want the people to have like the power to do it. That's all.
Are you worried that things get out of hand or that people on the other side instigate any kind of violence and that you guys will reciprocate?
I don't think so.
You're not worried?
We trust on those guys, So it depends on the other side. We are not aggressive, we are a peaceful group here, and it's not the same thing. A lot of people was telling me, you're not scared to go there with all the Antifa and stuff? I said, look, they had their chance last time, and it's not a good image that the Quebec Canada got from them. I don't think it's going to be good for them to repeat that kind of energy. The best is to get all together to change the thing, because just 2 on 2 like this, we're not going to change nothing. We're just going to go around. The Quebec and the Canada need to stand together against those people who took the decision.
What's your goal here today?
What?
What's your goal here today?
Being my person here to encourage the people to get up, to reunite.
Reunite in what cause?
Just to make our Canada or Quebec great for everyone.
And everyone, including or excluding refugees?
For this, I'm not professional in this, but just when me the thing, like I said, I had some experience with those refugees before, and there's no problem. And just make sure that they have everything to make it easier for them to live here and live peacefully for them and for everyone here. That's what I thought.
So why are you coming necessarily to this camp? Because some people think that you guys are here to intimidate. What would you say to that?
No. It's just to say to the world that we are here.
So you're here to tell them that you guys want to help them?
To help them. It's a part of the...
But how would help manifest itself? What is it that what would it that you want to do to help? Because some people think that you guys are here
First, we are here because the government doesn't listen to his own people, like treating us of racist or stuff like that, and it's not true at all. I don't see any skinhead or neo-Nazi here at all. That's only father, mother, people who just want to have a better life for our kids and stuff like that, and make sure that there's no wars going to happen here, you know, because we're a country where everyone have the right to have peace, and we want to keep it like that.
So you think that refugees or people that are maybe undocumented immigrants, you think that they want to wage war, or what is it?
It's not that, it's just, it's so huge, we have to take a beer, sit over there and talk more longer than just a little interview, I think. And I don't honestly have all the information. First of all, I was here because of the injustice I left with Immigration Canada, because it's not really fair that they help those people and we pay to make the stuff clear the way they ask, and we don't have any service at all. We, like I said, they send us back our paper for nothing, make us lose some time. It's been 5 years that I live without my wife right now, and she already lived here for 4 years.
So how do you reconcile thinking that these people are living through injustices, but also saying that you want to help? So
those people, it's just like any people in Canada and in any country, but it's just not logical, okay? Because our government, or I don't know, Mr. Trudeau, who says like, hey, come on everybody, we're going to help you, okay? So if he is going to do this for whole Africa, they really need help, you know? Mexico, they just have an earthquake. So what who is going to open the border for them too? It just also we have a lot of things to work in our system, the health, the school, everything, and there's no help for that. So that's other stuff that people can start saying like, hey, we have other priority. They are not going to die, the other people. It's not like the Syrian. The Syrian, like the Canada and the United States broke everything over there. There's no life practically possible over there. And the Rwanda, that was crazy. Okay, come, we are going to help you. They are going to die, you know. The other one, if you follow the story, you can make your own idea, you know.
But so you're saying that some refugees are okay, not all of them. There are some refugees that don't have it bad enough, so they shouldn't come into Canada. Is that what? Am I understanding correctly?
They have to fill the paper to come here. I don't see them really as refugees. They didn't have a mention, as I know. They didn't have a mention. You have to quit right now. They are scared of something possibly coming. Or I missed something.
So do you have faith that people who don't face a personalized risk will be deported? Because 50% of Haitians who applied last year were denied. So they do
I think it's sad because those people got attracted by a better situation here because someone told them to come here, you know, and they are practically kind of victim in that. They, like everyone in the world, we all want to have a better situation, so they come here. Mr. Trudeau say, hey buddy, come here. So they came, you know. So if it's going to be sad for sure, but if they are deported, it's going to be for some reason, and we can. There, like I said, I have a lot of problem with immigration in Canada, but I know that in another side, there's a lot of rules that they need to fix to make sure that it's not the chaos, you know.
You've put forth a pretty moderate message, which is fair, but what do you say to if you go on the Storm Alliance Facebook page, there's quite a bit of Islamophobic comments, there's quite a bit of pretty blatant racism. I mean, I know you can't speak for everybody who joins that Facebook page, but what would you say to those kind of opinions being expressed?
But the racist is both sides, you know? It's both sides. There's the people who just talk, you know, that's why I try to don't get pissed, because you know, when you're pissed, you say stuff that you regret after. And how I said that, it's just like there's some people, yeah, they spit some stuff because they don't agree, but the way they say it, it's mean like go back to your country or stuff like that. I don't agree at all. I always say you hit your home. It's not racism if we talk about Islamophobia and stuff like that. Like if it was a Christian or whatever, like we want it like everyone have the right to do their stuff in their home, in their cult, church or whatever, and it's fine. But we don't want to have like the Pope as my prime minister, you know. They have their own place, and I think that no one here needs to have specific right or some stuff for that. And there's a lot of things also for security. Like I said, me where I work, there's a lot of people from in hospital. There's a lot of people from Africa and stuff, and there's a lot of amusement. And when they have just you see the face and everything. No problem with that. It's not. If I want to have a mohawk on my head and look like a punk, it's my right. But the thing where I want to go is like if you have the full face like that. I found it dangerous because anyone can hide inside of this. I can hide, do some girl makeup, and
is that a real threat?
If it's a real threat, like I said, I'm not going to say it's a dangerous thing, but all the stuff happened, and a lot of people going around, and any race, everything is possible.
Can I get your name, please?
Sebastian.
Sebastian, your last name?
Cormier.
Cormier. C-O-R-M-I-E-R?
Yes.
Like Daniel Cormier. Awesome. Thank you.
Could you just respond to one thing? Because I feel like the actual name Storm Alliance conjures up a lot of like sort of Nazi imagery because, you know, the stormtroopers, etc. So how do you respond to people who might hear your message, think it's moderate, but then they see the name that you're wearing, Storm Alliance, and they think this is a Nazi group? How do you respond to that?
No, it's not Nazi at all. If it was the case, I wasn't going to be here because I don't agree at all with racism and stuff. It's just a movement of citizens who just want to help the people to get like they offer me they help with my wife and everything to make my wife come here. It was racist. My wife is really black, so and that's it.
The thing that I just can't seem to understand is that you guys say you want to help people, but then you guys are also here because you don't think that some people are as legitimate refugees as other people. I just don't understand how you reconcile that. Is there something? What is it, philosophically that makes you think that those two things are okay?
I didn't get it.
So you guys, there are some refugees that you guys say are okay, and there are others that you guys don't think are okay. How do you guys come up with that logic? What's the logic behind it?
Well, it's logic. When it's the same thing that when you fill the proper paper in immigration, some people's going to no, you don't. You don't give everything we ask for, so you cannot go in. And there's other people that you can. It's the same thing. It's not just to have some rule, because yes, we cannot make everyone goes in. Like I said, if we have to open the gate for everyone, open the gate for the whole Africa, it's a mess over there. Okay.
Why would that be a bad thing necessarily?
But it's just like, before doing something like this, we need to be structured here. And right now, the structure, it's really not good even for the people here already, The health care, everything. Yeah, it's better than a lot of other places, right? The quality of service in every branch where they take care of human, there's a lot of work, I think.
So you don't think that there are certain people that should be able to come benefit from that? You think that the most important thing is here before we take care of other people?
I hope everyone in the world can have those benefits. It's just like we just need to make sure that everything is set here. And like if I receive someone at my house, okay, and the fridge is empty and that I don't have a couch or something, I'm going to tell them, we can enter, but there's another lot of stuff. I will prefer having my grocery done and make a big supper, take care properly. But right now we have problem to take care of us here right now. That's the point.
Pas trop proche.
I also want to tell the media there's 2 official media reps today. I'll introduce them. Are they here? Yeah, so just come up. I'll be talking on the megaphone, but I'm not going to be talking to the media. So Anas Bushliskan.
Do you want to just tell me how this has gone so far? If you guys have achieved your goals, give me an overview.
I think the goal of today was to come and have a loud and clear message of welcoming the refugees. I think we came here, as we came a few times this summer, to have an open and welcoming positive message to refugees. We're here festive, playing music. I think the objective was to have that welcoming message today at the refugee camps. And we're also here today, both symbolically and concretely, to also address that a far-right group, a far-right racist, anti-Islamophobic group came to intimidate refugees. And we're also saying, so we're doing 2 things at the same time today, which is to welcome refugees, say openly that we're welcoming them, and we're also saying no to racists.
Could you just respond to the claim? Because I've spoken to a few of them, and they say they're not actually explicitly anti-immigration. They're just against the way that the Justin Trudeau, government has handled immigration. So can you just respond to that claim that they're not really explicitly anti-immigrant?
I think they're explicitly improvising their messaging. The 2 main themes that they were talking about recently were illegal immigration and radical Islam. 2 things that do not exist here in Canada. What happens is that, first of all, illegal immigration is not a legal term that exists. According to the Barreau du Quebec, that term is not a legal term that exists. What happens is that refugees are forced to cross the border irregularly due to the third safe country agreement that force people to cross irregularly the border and then have access to demanding the status to demand asylum. And so illegal immigration doesn't exist. And same thing for radical Islam. I can't speak exactly about specifically about Storm Alliance, but how far-right groups, a few far-right groups here in Quebec, notably La Meute, has effectively in its ranks, like in its members, ex-military people that went to war in the Middle East, and they still have this idea, this imprinted idea that there is such a thing as radical Islam in the world, that there's a radical Islam threat, and they're trying to import that idea here. There is no radical Islam in Quebec, there's no radical Islam in Canada. So, and when you scapegoat groups, whether it's immigrants, whether it's Haitian people, whether it's Muslims, when you're always looking for a group to scapegoat, that's racism.
And what do you think? There's one more thing. What do you think about the fact that like they're all wearing these squares, these brown squares that are supposed to be like pro Indigenous women? What do you think about that?
Yeah, they're trying to gain social social support, and when you're trying to work, if you're a racist and you're trying to say that you're supporting Indigenous people, there's a dissonance there, and unfortunately. When you're always working with more vulnerable communities, sometimes some bad things will associate to them.
Did you just have any final thoughts on the whole event today?
Welcome refugees. I'm just happy that a lot of people came out today in a festive sentiment, and that a racist group coming to the border to intimidate is something alarming, and I think that's what we should be talking about more in the coming months. That there is effectively an increase, a large rise of far right here in Quebec and Canada. Historically, two events. There's historical events happening. That happened this summer, the largest demonstration of far-right groups since the 1930s happened in Quebec. So about 350 people to 500 people demonstrated in Quebec. That's the largest number that happened since the 1930s. So there is a rise in far-right here, as well as Canada, to my knowledge, and I think I'm right about this, that this is the first time that Canada, the most beautiful country in the world, has a refugee camp at the border. So I mean, there's many things happening, and I think there's totally a fun group that's doing great work, and I think everybody can get along with that, and we can have fun by saying welcome to refugees and saying no to racists.
So the event has essentially gone down at this point. There weren't any major clashes. There was just one small incident where it's hard to actually make out what was happening, but one guy who seemed to be an independent press got into a slight altercation with one of the members of Storm Alliance, but quickly he scurried off and nothing actually came of it. So other than general intimidation, chanting at each, back and forth at each other, mutual intimidation, it's been relatively quiet, in terms of actually clashes. The cops have been present essentially the entire time, standing in between both groups. After that little confrontation that we spoke about, the riot police came out, and since then there really hasn't been much except for negative words towards each other. Storm Alliance ended up coming up with pretty decent numbers. They ended up overtaking Solidarity Across Borders in terms of numbers, but only after a little while. Right now there's definitely potentially on par in terms of numbers, but I think that the Storm Alliance definitely has more. And that's it. It's nothing crazy happening. It's not a replica of Quebec City. And it's funny, you have both groups chanting against racism, which is kind of interesting. When the Solidarity Across Borders people started chanting "Tout le monde déteste les racistes," the Storm Alliance does the same thing. So you have one side claiming one side is anti-immigration and racist and Nazis and fascists. One side, on the other side, the Storm Alliance, in their words at least, they deny it. They say that they're more against the policies of Justin Trudeau in terms of how he's handled immigration. They say that they actually want to help people, but they want to do it in their way, which is to allocate more resources towards integration and towards helping people get settled in, etc. So it's a little bit confusing when you have one group saying the other group are Nazis and fascists and the other group denying it. Storm Alliance are actually wearing this brown square, which is supposed to be in support of Indigenous women who have faced sexual violence really from anyone in Canada. That's an issue. So, all in all, nothing crazy happened. Two groups meeting to oppose each other, cops standing in between, and a whole lot of confusion about exactly who Storm Alliance is and what their actual purpose is. So that's it, and we're just glad that there was nothing violent. That's really the main point. That's it.